Alrighty. Let's take a look here. I don't want to, you know... This is not necessarily a VOD review in and of itself because I kind of don't like just rambling, so, but I thought I would stream this just for the sake of itself, and then I will organize my thoughts and then make a more concise and watchable VOD review later on. So that's what we got.
Early this year, I'm not doing. I would like to go to both of the Evos this year and like a couple of tournaments.
Mostly this is in the context of working on my Cammy book, but so I'm not going to be focusing a huge amount on matchup stuff. I'm mostly just looking for risk reward, like tactic management, resource management, and routing.
Early this year, I'm not doing much. I need to figure out what the Capcom events are this year.
Yeah.
Like when they are and what they are. Figure out what the Capcom events are this year.
With
like
jab.
What they are.
Walk up, crouch medium punch from a long way with jab. Jump, very shallow dive kick. Walk backwards, crouch medium kick. This is a tendency that I see a lot in this instance, which is like, okay, so for like Dalsum, I see like the walk backwards into crouch medium kick is kind of an autopilot action to be based on like a certain amount of timing and spacing, but it's used imprecisely or in an autopilot way. Walk back, crouch medium kick, drive rush cancel. In places where if the opponent is walking backwards, sometimes they walk out of range and it no longer hits them low. And like Dalsum's not a character that's going to be doing the same sorts of medium normals that you would expect from another character. He doesn't have like the same 7-frame, 8-frame normals to contend with. You don't really have to. You can be like +1, -1, etc., and just do low forward drive rush just by itself. You don't have to walk backwards to try to whiff punish him. What buttons are you gonna press? Like, if he does down back heavy punch, you know, that's a commitment that he's going to make. If he does instant air, it does like jump drill, that's gonna go over your crouching medium kick. So, okay, drive rush roundhouse, pick up. Okay, so this is one thing I'll say, which is, in terms of Cammy's drive gauge, this is like kind of what I'm trying to structure Cammy's offense around. So, drive gauge for neutral skip with DRC and raw drive rush. Now, mostly I would probably try to apply those in places where it could get the hit. I don't love doing just walk up, crouch, medium kick, drive rush on block if it's very apparent the opponent's just going to crouch block it out. Especially if they're, you know, walking, blocking in anticipation of mediums into drive rush cancel so that they can drive reversal it. So drive gauge for that. Corner, drive gauge for raw DR Oki. So I believe, especially against characters that don't have EXDPs, so after this, okay, so there's two factors here. One is that if you had already just done a raw drive rush, you're put into the penalty state, and that prevents you from regenerating drive gauge, so it's worth it to then immediately after that hit do another raw drive rush again, because you take one penalty state and then you add another one at the same time, so you're saving a little bit of drive gauge overall, because they overlap, so you kind of cancel out the previous one. So, and also I just think Cammy does not have great ways of just forcing drive gauge. She's not a character that gets super high value from her drive gauge in a lot of circumstances, and you know, you can use drive gauge for EXDPs to option select fake drive rush cancels. That's not as relevant for Dalsum, and he also has multiple ways of beating that out. even if he were to do that, so... And he has no EXTP, so I see, like, raw drive rush in his face on Oki in the corner as very consistent, a very consistent way of forcing the issue. So, tech throw. So instant, right, like here. Especially after forward throw, Dhalsim has no way to stop the drive rush Oki afterwards in the same way that an EXTP character would. So just after forward throw, I would just take drive rush Oki nearly every time. Just drive rush right after the throw. This happens, I only watched like parts of this VOD while it was active, while it was live, but this happens a couple of times with very close jumps in instances. This was like a weird forward dash from this guy. But yeah, jumping into the corner happens quite a bit. And then, again, like your button placements are very much based on like a normal character, like a normal footsies interaction. So you do like a delay crouch medium punch buffer. That doesn't make sense for Dhalsim. That's not going to do anything. And like, it's fine to get counter hit. Like, you don't have to whiff punish him. Like, it is totally fine to just get counter hit on startup and just do things that will reach him. So just do, like, stand heavy kick. It'll hit him if he does low float in the air. If he counter hits you by doing, like, back medium kick drive rush cancel or something, or back medium kick fireball, fine. Whatever. Okay. Nice deep mix. And then, let's see. I think you could have... You had a level 1, I'm pretty sure. You could have done back heavy kick off of here, and then level 1 him in the, done the backwards combo into the corner. But off of this is, like, acceptable. It's just, again, as soon as you spend drive gauge, it's worth it to spend a little bit more. Burnout is not really a big danger against Dhalsim, I would say, so long as you're not in the corner and you're not going to get DI'd. He doesn't have corner carry in the same way that a normal character does, and he also doesn't have, like, really strong burnout pressure shit. So, back heavy kick, drive rush, stand heavy punch, charge, spiral arrow, level 1 to put him back in the corner would have been good. No pickup. So this is, like, my main notes for Akaraien for your play is... A lot of, like, the walk back and a crouch medium kick or crouch medium punch look a little autopilot in certain situations, like not reactive to the specific circumstances. Weak anti-airs and blatant errors. Blatant errors were, like, the biggest thing. Like, blatant mistakes that get you punish countered into a big combo, or at least a sizable combo, clear combo drops, etc. There's no pickup here. Drive rush. It's fine. Now, this is like against a character that is not going to be defending himself with an EXTP. God damn it. There we go. There we go. It's deeper than I thought it was. There we go. So, wake up, drive reversal. So you can do a deep drive rush jab is good, a deep drive rush crouch light kick, and deep drive rush back medium punch, although it won't win against drive reversal, but like those are go-tos that I would apply a lot of the time, probably after forward throw and mid-screen. Yeah, the rest of this is fine. This is what it is. Interesting drill. Now, the attempt for where the whiff punish makes sense, and you did clip him, and you could have killed him with a level 1. Which, well, it did less damage than I thought. I think you could have killed him with a level 1. I don't think that scales the initial damage, so... And then what happened after this? Yeah, the situation I was talking about. Pretty much exactly. So that's fine. I think the level 1 would have killed, and the whiff on the blah blah blah, whatever else, was the main error there. But drive rush. Yep, I like that. That's fine. I wish I could go backwards like 5 seconds instead of, what, 10 seconds or whatever this is. Drive rush, roundhouse, crouch jab, using frames, etc. Drive rush, deep crouch heavy punch, walk up crouch heavy punch. Yeah, that's all completely fine. I just attempted to pick up some of these. You'll probably have to either drive rush to pick them up or do a level 1. Level 1 would be worthwhile here, probably. I don't know how tight the drive rush pickup would be, but probably not that tight. I mean, Cammy's drive rush is, like, not super fast, but it's fine. But, yeah, I don't know if... Maybe drive rush light kick, but it would have been good to convert that into a level 1. That's a more matchup-specific thing of being ready for that interaction, since that would happen quite commonly against Dhalsim. That's fine. I would say, yeah, drive reversal on a guaranteed point, like... down back heavy kick, down back heavy punch from Dhalsim. Just take a guaranteed drive reversal, even if it burns you out. Again, like, Dhalsim is like the one character in the game I would say it is like, I literally don't give a fuck if you burn out against him or not. He is unthreatening in any capacity. If you just hang back and like just play neutral. All of his gimmicks do not require you to have drive gauge to beat them. So yeah, guaranteed drive reversal spot, even before he had canceled into drive rush cancel. This is just a spot where you just see it, autopilot. And even if you don't, so long as you're not in range for him to do, for Dhalsim to do a back throw, and this applies to like any other character. So let's say lock, drive reversal. Let's put a delay on that or something. So we're out here. As we can see, it hit at a later active frame, so it was only -5. And if you're not in throw range, and you can't get punish counter back throw to the corner, what does Dhalsim get? What is exactly, like, what is he gonna get? Oh, nothing? Fucking garbage? Yeah. This is a common interaction. Okay, one thing is that, like... So Dhalsim's throw is pretty strong. His shimmy is risky, because if you just wait for his float shimmy and then you just anti-air him, you can punish him quite heavily. That is a matchup-specific thing I would practice. It's quite easy to just see him float in your face and then, like, press a button, press a heavy punch or a back medium punch or whatever. Depends on your character. But, yeah, it should be quite easy. Just pick a button that hits him and then immediately punish him for a shimmy attempt. In terms of parry against him, I don't necessarily... Like, again, his throw is strong. His throw is, like, one of the strongest things about him. He has multiple good throws, so... Nice pickup. DP. Oh. You could have DP'd that, definitely. Light spiral arrow. DP. Okay, another clear error here. No jab, no punish on the teleport. So he got out for free. That wasn't a guaranteed thing. He just didn't get punished for it, which is unfortunate. Now, again, Cammy, this is another situation where Cammy is good in this matchup, because if the Dalsum player is going to do some shit like blah, 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 blah. Oh god. I've not played Dalsum since I changed my inputs, so I'll have to remember the proper inputs. What is it? 3 kicks for? Yeah. No, wait. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm hitting my old buttons. Muscle memory. Okay. So you have have a situation like this, right? Oops, wrong button. Doesn't quite reach the corner, so you would probably have to pick this up with an EX drill to get the corner back. Which would still be worth it. So, there you go. That's fine. That's fine. Unlucky that you got punish countered on landing. So you lost a little bit of drive gauge, but that's just slightly unfortunate. It's fine. Okay, now, this is a situation where even off of the perfect parry, I would say probably worth it to just take the corner in this circumstance. So probably worth it to do a corner-specific a route that will get you the corner. So off of perfect parry, where you can do anything, and also scaling doesn't really matter, you can do that. That'll have a bit more corner carry than just doing. But the real routes that give you extra corner carry would be with level 1. So you would perfect parry him, like about here, and then you would do this. And like, you know. Or you can just commit to using... It depends on how you want to manage your super gauge, and like what you're prepared for to do in the matchup. Because like, if you were using your supers, like your level 1 and your level 3, to just react to full screen shit that he does, with punish his limbs at full screen, and like get your full damage for your supers, that would be a great way to spend super. But I don't think you have practiced doing that. That would be probably your best matchup way to manage your super gauge, but so, for example, you can use a level 3 to whiff punish as soon as he does any back teleport after floating in midair. If he does float and back teleport, there's nothing he can do. You can just level 3 him right there. A lot of his limbs you can level 3. Oh, and let me see, for my own curiosity, because I'm actually not certain. Let me switch this around. I want to see if Dalsum can react to the startup of a super and then still teleport. Because I know okay, I know that he can't air teleport for fast supers, like 8 or 9 frame supers. So I would like to see that with Cammy. I don't know how... What's his invincibility on his ground teleport? 5 frames? And then that one's 11 frame. Wait, no. Weird. Okay. Well, okay, so this super should be much faster, or this, oops. Okay. Can he whiff punish it, though? Yeah. Alright. Just wanted to check. Let's try this super, which is a little faster. What? Oh. Yeah. Okay, so his ground teleport is a lot faster than his air teleport. Anyways, back to watching this. I was just curious. Anyway, yeah. But you got the corner anyways. I don't even know I was bringing that up. Now, okay, I like your neutral approach here is totally fine against Awesome. It's just that, like, on occasion you will have to, like, commit to doing things that punishes floats. Like, sometimes you'll just have to take a gamble on doing the anti-air. Anytime that you get close to him like this, like you jump in at this range and he's floated and he's preparing to do a thing like that, sometimes commit to a perfect parry, anti-air, sometimes commit to maybe a light DP. If you had jumped earlier and he was coming down later, then I would say you can do back medium punch. I also think that just the way Dalsum works, you don't have to be that stationary against him on defense. He can't really chase you down in the way that a lot of other characters can. Nice pickup. That should kill. Yeah, see there, okay, that was the exact situation I was talking about, where sometimes you jump in and he's floated at that point and you land early enough that you wouldn't have to do an invincible anti-air to beat him. Sometimes you just have to, like, if the situation happens enough times. Now again, you don't, this is good neutral because, like, he doesn't actually get real offense off of this. Like, he's plus, but he would still have to, like, take a full dash forwards or do like a button into drive rush cancel in order to get into throw range off of this jump heavy punch. So it's still a neutral interaction that long term should win you, because if he commits to doing that jump heavy punch enough times after that same interaction, you can predict it, anti-air him, float him, kill him. Now this is the situation where I'm like, either do different buttons on the ground, or commit to your buttons, but also like tap in like a perfect parry, anti-air, or whatever else. And also, using Dalsum is like a weird matchup where the thing that he's liable to do all the time is he's either going to do something that you can beat on startup with your faster normals, or he's going to float. And then after he floats, he's either going to hang out, he's going to heavy punch, he's going to drill, or he's going to teleport back, or float, teleport back. I keep hitting my old button layout for 3 punches. But anyways, so the point is that one thing that is actually weird that you wouldn't want to do against other characters, but you can against, but it does actually make sense against Dalsum, is let's say he's like plus after a situation and there's like a delay. So let's say he does block all, float, heavy punch, something like that. No, I want it to be, like, not a real frame trap. So, like... something like that versus... I want it so that it's visually indistinguishable. So there. Something like that versus... versus... that. Okay, so we have, like, these three interactions. How'd I input this? There. So you can actually use the usually detrimental attribute of doing light dry brush cancel and it comes out on whiff. You can use it in ways that are actually kind of beneficial against Dhalsim, because you can use it to beat out his normals on the ground, but also if he floats, and you can see that in the dry brush cancel, he won't be able to teleport away in time, so you can just anti-air him outright. Again, his air teleport is like 11 frame startup, so before it becomes invincible, so you can just DP him at that point. Oh yeah, all this is totally fine. This is good. Oh, this is one thing that I was going to say I had in my notes earlier. You actually did the correct thing here. I agree with this, but for the few instances where you don't do it, DR stand light punch, stand heavy punch. I think anytime you do dry brush light punch, you should just almost always autopilot to heavy punch right after. Unless you want to, like, jump or walk up approach, but... Nice-oo. Now, I will say that this looked like the same autopilot walk back crouching medium kick I was talking about, in which case, like, if he was walking backwards, if he was just holding walk backwards, he probably would have been out of range for you to hit him with his low, at which point I do think in some of the places that you're using this, you could just do crouch medium punch if the goal is to beat their normals or punish their delay jabs or something. Crouching medium punch is way more rewarding than crouch medium kick. So, just in some of these instances, like if you're doing the crouch medium kick, even though it has a little more range than the crouch medium punch, you want to stay a little closer because you also want to do it to beat the walkbacks. I'm not going to be, like, super pedantic and, like, measure all your Oki situations, like how often are you throwing or shimmying or doing whatever else. Oh, I will say again, now, this is another situation where blocking down back heavy punch from Dhalsim, almost always, and he's in the corner, just drive reversal. I don't care if it would burn you out, just do it. Just drive reversal, get the knockdown, keep your Oki up, stop him from... It's really easy for Dhalsim to escape the corner once he's not immediately once he's not in, like, a true guessing situation. The worst thing that could happen... Okay, now that I think about it, does Dhalsim get... If Dhalsim were to do, like, a wake-up reversal afterwards... Does Dhalsim get a guaranteed side switch off of his level 3? So, if you were to take Oki and he level 3'd, could he side switch and then set you up for, like, a DI or something? Plus 19. No, you could definitely jab him there. So he does not get a guaranteed side switch off of his level 3. He might off of his level 2, but that would only hit you if you're standing, so you can do like crouch heavy punch meaty and it would be fine. Or crouch jab or whatever. And yeah, just when you have high HP, especially against Dhalsim, I'm like, burnout is like irrelevant. It's so nothing. Again, same situation. This is like the only situation that happens when you play against Dhalsim as Cammy. This is like the only neutral situation, is you jump at this range, he is just floated, and then now he has to decide whether or not he's going to come in with jump heavy punch, and you have to decide whether or not you want to try to anti-air him. With either a DP, or a super, or a perfect parry attempt, or back medium punch. In this situation, the risk-reward drastically favors you. Like, if you were to try to perfect parry anti-air's jump heavy punch, there's only a very small number of things he could do that would, like, bait you out and punish you. He would have to, like, drill kick specifically in front of you but not hit you so that he could land and then throw your parry attempt or whatever. And, like, you floating you getting a float anti-air or the back medium punch or back heavy kick, sorry, would, be infinitely more damaging to him than, you know, any of the other interactions that are going to happen. So yeah, as you can see, he doesn't win this neutral interaction. He always has to do like other fake shit, like drive rush right afterwards after getting the jump heavy punch, because he's not getting in off of that. So yeah, I like that jump back, very good. Same interaction over and over. That one was a little bit tighter. So again, but yeah, like, basically, this is the only neutral interaction that ever occurs against Dhalsim. Especially Dhalsims that play like this, so basically the only thing that you need to actually study for in what your options are. Now, my only thing is, I don't like this drive rush right here. Not for a resource management reason, but, like, I don't think you need to do anything right now. Like, Dhalsim, like, all of his ways to, like, get in are totally fake and, like, pretty punishable. He has really fake drive rush cancels. He has, like, if you just kind of back off and give him space, it's whatever. Even if he lands hits, he doesn't really have corner carry in the traditional sense. He has strong side switches, but he can't, like, take you to a corner. So, like, I don't know. There's very little threat, and it's totally unnecessary to, like, make offense happen right here. You can just, like, hang out. I think you actually had him right here if your jump heavy kick had come out in time. Yeah, see? So this is an instance where you didn't need to forward jump here, right? Like, you don't need to chase him, you know? You have a clear lead. He can't do shit. He got out of the corner. Okay. Now, you've run into enough hits. This one. The next one. And this anti-air. That it's a little evened up. Okay, again, that could have been picked up with a level 1. Right, like, that's the only situation that you need to prepare for in this matchup. Literally the only thing that ever happens is just sometimes jump heavy kick floats, and sometimes you land and then decide whether or not you want to anti-air his float. What button did you press that got punish countered here? Yeah, crouch medium kick. Yeah, I just think you don't have to be nuanced about it. You can just fish for damage with crouch medium punch instead. And it can't get, like, low crushed. But this is still fine. Not the worst. He really should have taken the nigh guaranteed burnout. No, that was bad. That was clearly bad.
Oh, nice! You get the common as such It's tempting.
Okay, so you did a light string here. So I would call that spin knuckle as a blatant error. Then you did this light string here. This is another blatant error. But you did crouch jab instead of stand jab, which has more range, and you're, you know, it was mainly a mistake on the spacing differential from the jump light kick. So you had a conversion, but then you lost all the drive gauge and got hit.
Probably 9, but the common is such most likely. I'll be back tomorrow equals 2 weeks later. I said I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, spin knuckle,
But the common is such
unnecessary here. At this range, it doesn't do anything.
I'll be back tomorrow.
And, like, he's either going to float or he can just whiff punish it. If it's not going to reach him...
I said I'll be back tomorrow, and if not, then probably whenever. Most likely.
A lot of these hits are unnecessary to be taking.
Later.
Drive, rush, cancel, etc. Now, you don't have to, like, EXDP blow this up, but... you can just block. Like, he really can't get in the throw range from here.
I did not know. But I know what you
Nice.
think.
Weird conversion. Could have just done heavy punch. Target combo. Punish. Nice-oo. Driver shoki would be good here. Another tick throw. I will say you've done that, like, a huge majority of times. Either crouch jab walk back or crouch jab throw. And I will say his defensive options have not changed drastically. He's not done, like, jump on wake up. He's not done jump, air, instant air, dive kick, etc. He's not done a wake up jab. Like, almost all of his defensive actions have been delay jab. Block, delay jab. So you can... and so, like, he's... like, every time you've shimmied, he's represented... almost every time... you got, like, one... I think one, maybe 2 shimmies successful. But... almost every, in the corner, I mean, but almost every other time, every time you shimmy, he does block, delay, jab, delay, crouch, jab. So I would say you can blow that up. If you see that they just constantly just do the block, delay, jab, he's not mixing up his defensive options, that means either do something to blow that up by, like, doing crouch, jab, crouch, heavy punch, or crouch, jab, whatever, or just throw loop him to death. Throw loop him until he's forced to adjust and second guess his defense. I mean, Dalsum is, like, one of the least threatening characters to throw loop him because, like, what does he get? He can't guaranteed side switch off of drive reversal. Safely, anyways. His backdash is more frames than other characters, so he can't get a backdash into, like, a good punish on your throw loops. And he could do instant air drill, but that doesn't lead to a combo. If you throw loop him, he's point blank. He only gets plus frames after that, at which point you can just backdash or EXDP or something. So, yeah, I would say you can really abuse throw loop. Again, just delay jab, and then after the delay jab, he did another delay crouch fierce, which again, you could have drive reversaled for the knockdown, keep the pressure up, but, like, his defensive habits have, like, not changed at all. You gotta jump in. You did another light block string. I'll just mention that because you've done that a couple of times now after a block jump in. That was good. Could have killed. Okay, blatant error. Could have gotten the kill. Even if you couldn't have gotten the kill, that was still a bad combo. Crouch medium punch. Excellent. Love it. Kill. Murder. This is fine, I guess. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Mathematically, I would not consider this optimal. Again, I'm not a big fan of level 2 anymore. Like, previously, I had sort of looked at level 2 situation. Level 2 is, like, interesting for kill combos in certain circumstances. If you have low drive gauge and get very specific hits, it's capable of killing. at places that her level 1 doesn't even come close to. But in other places like this, I am like of two minds about the use of level 2 here. Okay, 3 things that come to mind. One is that supers are quite useful in this matchup for raw whiff punishes and punishing certain things. And like if you were to block like his there are certain normals and actions that he has here that if you just block them, you can just punish, like, clean with level 3. So, that's like, so one thing is that raw supers are, like, really valuable in this matchup, so it's, like, not the worst thing to, like, sit on bar, because the frequency of scenarios where you can get huge value for super is quite high in this matchup. My second thought is that I like using supers to put yourself at, like, close, like, the danger zone. I would consider, like, below, like, at or below 40% HP to be, like, the place where your opponent is, like, liable to die soon, and it's worth spending extra resources to put them in that place, or lower. So, that's one aspect that makes me like this use of this super. But then, in terms of just raw mathematics, just doing the heavy punch target combo, light spiral arrow, medium DP would be mathematically more optimal for all resources involved. Because what you did spend it on is like relatively low value for drive gauge and relatively low value for super, all things considered. But that being said, Dalsum is a character that you don't need to worry about your drive gauge as much against, so there's multiple factors to consider. But so I don't hate this, but my thoughts on whether I like this or not are a little complicated. Another shimmy. Okay, this is the point where I think you just need to throw loop him like a million times. He actually has adjusted to your neutral, and that now he's not doing delay crouch jab. He's literally like, this guy's going to shimmy me. I'm going to do delay low. I don't know what that neutral jump was. That neutral jump heavy kick. I don't dislike neutral jump here, but you could have gotten punish countered for this, in the heavy kick at least, in a way that would have burnt you out, but it's fine. Man, that was unlucky. I was sure you had that. I'm surprised. I'm shocked that he got that anti-air out in time for the EX. Okay, you're totally fine here if you just don't fuck up. Okay. I will say, raw drill, like, it makes sense kind of if they're chasing you. This guy has, like, not spent more than 4 seconds standing on the ground, so I don't think it's a necessary part of the match. Okay, 1, it's a risk because that is the very thing that can happen. 2, this guy does not play in a way that would ever indicate that he's not just going to float a billion more times. 3, you don't have to win neutral right now. You didn't have to win neutral, so you didn't have to get that hit. Kill. Beautiful. Beautiful conversion. That is, like, the only thing that I think requires a degree of focus and attention for Cammy is, like, there's lots of instances where converting her lights into level 1 is actually good and valuable. And so, if you're not prepared for that, you know, prepared to do the more complicated input off of just, like, 2 or 3 lights. But, yeah, that was really good. I don't know why the fuck he did that. Kill him, Murdar. That would have been worth spending drive gauge on, just to get the corner. Also because you were full, but mainly just to get the corner.
Apex is shit. Apex is so shit right now. You have to play Valorant. Are you serious?
That's fine. Again, his throw is good. Nothing, like, a lot of his other shit is not really that strong, but his throw is actually strong, so I don't entirely love parrying him on Wake Up, because parry prevents you from beating some of his, like, dumbass shimmy float options.
Very sorry to hear that.
Nice. Okay, so again, this interaction, finally it happened where you jumped and he wasn't actually floating in the air. Now, I would say that as soon as you land, you have the neutral superiority here, because your normals will come out faster and have better reward and better hurtbox interactions than his will. So, I would say that you don't always have to, like, neutral jump and then just, like, hang out. Like, neutral jumping and landing in front of him, whether he's on the ground or in the air, is an opportunity for you to make a play. You don't always have to, like, land and be like, alright, I landed, now he's gonna, like, take his turn. No, you're in. That's fine. Weird. Randomly lucky, frankly. Now again, he cannot teleport that fast, especially if he's really high into the air. His teleport means that he won't be able to do anything about your DP, even if his teleport does get out of the way of your DP in time. He'll only be able to hit it with like a single jump heavy kick or something. Now again, blatant error. These knockdowns where you like side switch and whatever are inherently awkward. Now, pro tip, dashing is worse than walking forwards here. Whenever you get like an awkward side switch or something like that, don't forward dash, just hold forwards and walk. You will stay closer to them. Just because of the weird timing of it and the way the game works. So just hold forwards. So you dash, but it's awkward and you can't see how close you are, and you did another error in terms of judging your spacing for the block string. Then you got another low forward drive rush. Now again, you didn't hit him low here. You got a counter hit. So crouching medium punch could have done the same thing but better. I have not loved... Okay, my opinion on hooligan shit is... I don't think... One, I don't think it's necessary. Two, both times you've tried hooligan shit, you've lost the corner immediately. And you've not opened him up at all. Three... I don't know. I'm not... Like, hooligan has, like, the factor of the fact that you are forcing a guess, but I don't think the math works out for it. I don't think it's that good. I just don't think it's that... I don't know. I don't believe in it. I really don't believe in it. Okay, there. That was an opportunity. So this is something you can just practice in training mode, beating these dumbass floats from these fucking Dalsum players that just float in your face and expect not to get punished for a bajillion damage. That's fine. That'll happen sometimes. I will say, the only note I would say is that it was unnecessary for you to get counter hit here. You didn't have to press a jump button, and the counter hit is the only thing that gives him this combo. Punish. Come on. That's punishable.
How was that not a punish?
You have to remember that this is less negative on block than it used to be, but it is still punishable. Just do like stand medium, punch, punish, counter.
But how was that not a punish? It's like, how was that not a punish?
What is the actual number for it on block now? -10. Good. Okay, this is another thing. I forget if I already mentioned this or not, but you don't have to stay... As soon as, like, Dalsum has, like, the pressure, quote-unquote, you don't really have to stay stationary. Because he has no way of, like, hitting you in such a way that will convert into a combo. If you just, like, mash backdash or, like, jump backwards or neutral jump or something. So you could neutral jump here, and then he would have no recourse. You would either punish or at least get in on him doing this fucking... If you neutral jumped, you would maybe beat his float, or you would maybe lose to his float, but not in a severely punishing way. You would win against this shit. If you mash backdash... Yeah, I mean, there's just, like, nothing that he would do that would, like, punish you in this circumstance. Again, you didn't have to get a counter hit there. You didn't have to press a jump button there. Yeah, all of these are, like, opportunities, but you're not pulling the trigger on them. You need to, like, these are the opportunities that will happen over and over. Like, you whiff, you're on the ground, he's in the air, he's starting to float, whatever, maybe he does a teleport. Like, these are your opportunity. He takes more risk here than you do. You just have to, like, sometimes you just have to pull the trigger and, like, actually attempt to get the hit. I will say, if the Dhalsim also does not do a lot of crouching medium punch, you can also just raw drive rush against him a lot. Surprised I didn't. Yeah, like that. Bad combo. Should have just done drill. Yeah, so now he's kind of just like doing all this shit. Again, raw drive rush would beat a lot of this. A lot of these like float actions and stuff. You can also just, like, hang out and look to whiff punish or certain actions with level 1 or level 3. And sometimes when you do these, like, deep forward jumps, and he is on the ground, he's not gone into the float yet, you can either empty land and then press a button and drive rush cancel or something, or like do light kick drive rush cancel, or when you are in the air a moment beforehand, do a really late heavier EX dive kick to get your spacing a little bit further to throw him off. That's basically all juries do with their dive kick. They just like jump at a space where they clearly can't reach you, and then they just dive kick super late and they hit you. Again, you did crouch, jab, shimmy, and it's not working. Okay, here's the thing. This is, okay, major piece of advice. I think I talked about this in a recent video. Guessing, you don't have to guess right. Okay, guessing correctly on your offense is not as important as doing things that are strong. Okay? So, like, shimmy is more or less equally powerful for all characters, okay? But, Cammy, crouch heavy punch is strong. If you get drive reversaled, if you get whatever, it's fine, okay? But, like, what does Cammy have that's, like, really strong and abusable? Its reward is super high, its risk is super low, and, even if you're wrong, if he blocks, if he, like, parries and gets some drive gauge back, whatever, again, you can't control how frequently correct you are on guessing correctly. So I would say, one, you are, like there is an error in how often you're shimmying, in that it's not adapted to the character that you're fighting against who has no EXDP, and you don't need to shimmy that much in that particular way. Two, if you still think... Okay, here's the thing. If you think that now, for whatever reason, you have a vibe, whatever, if you think that now is the time that the shimmy will work, even though it hasn't worked several times in a row, I would say even then, choose a different method of shimmying. Mix up your method. You can shimmy by doing a delay crouch heavy punch. You can shimmy with a neutral jump. Okay? It's very important just to, even if you have a read, and even if, I don't care if the read is wrong. Let's say you have a read and you want to do something, you want to call out a certain action, you should still be mixing up which option you do to blow that up, so that the opponent has to be paying attention, etc. So I would say, first note, mix up how you try to call out the same thing, instead of just doing crouch, jab, shimmy over and over to like beat out or whatever. And 2, abuse the thing that is clearly strong. Abuse the fucking like broken thing that makes the character so fucked up. All right, crouching heavy punch, neutral jump, dive kick in the corner, like quick shallow dive kicks that are like really hard to anti-air without perfect parries, and like stand light kick drive rush, like light pressure, staggered light pressure into drive rush cancels to keep up the pressure. All those things are fundamentally strong, and you need to abuse them. Even if you abuse the thing that is really fucking good, and you are wrong 70% of the time, it is still better for you than choosing things that are not really strong, not inherently strong, but you're right like 50% of the time. Okay? Even if you're right more frequently, which you are not being right now, it doesn't matter as much if you're not abusing the fucked up options. Okay, these I would say, are you at a range where you could kill him with level 3? I don't think quite, but it's close enough that looking to just whiff punish something with level 3 here would be, like, really strong. That could have been level 3. That definitely could be level 3. Fucking air fireball. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking Dawson players. I'm gonna look at this interaction again. Did like a deep jump. That was pretty close. I actually don't know if you're plus here or not, but I think you probably could have just assumed it. Well, no. If he was plus and he got a jab counter hit confirm, you would have died here, so... I guess it... Yeah, there. Back jump on defense as soon as, like, you don't immediately have to respect his frame traps is very good against Dhalsim. You reset to the neutral. I would say Cammy wins the neutral because these constant interactions. Again, a single one of these, you could land, assume he's going to do jump heavy punch, and then just, like, fucking level 3 him to death. I also think that you could afford to abuse more stand heavy kick in some of these places where you do, like, crouch medium punch. That's fine. A little goofy, but that's totally fine. You know, in Street Fighter V, Cammy's hooligan, if you did the throw, it had a throw that hit people on the ground and a throw that hit people in the air. Precisely for this reason. But in this game, she doesn't, for whatever reason. You definitely could have died there if he had converted that differently, and you definitely could have killed there by just doing raw level 3. The level 3 note aside, you need to drive rush. Okay, hooligan is fine here, but like I would say drive rush to get your Oki here would be better. If you had done the dive kick a little bit later, or just again landed and just done an anti-air in assumption, because he has literally never not done jumping heavy punch. So you could just, yeah, call him out. Yeah. Alright, I'll be right back. I need a drink. Okay. Ed, I have much less cogent advice to say about Ed. I don't know. So I'll try to focus more. Why the fuck did he do EX Blitz?
You get used to it eventually.
I will try to keep this more about like the basic fundamentals and the Cammy optimizations and stuff.
You get used to it eventually.
Nice parry. Nice-oo. Again, you didn't catch him low, though, so crouching medium punch would have done the same thing. So just bearing that in mind. I want to see how many times you actually catch them low versus just beat them out. I will say, in a situation like this, and this is totally your choice, but when you fight a character that doesn't have a true fast anti-air, and in fact, like, even characters that lack DPs can still have fast anti-airs, like some of these characters or whatever can still have, like, a last-second anti-air. Whereas, like, you can totally just forward jump after this target combo into medium spiral in mid-screen, and Ed can't anti-air it. So if you want to do, like, pseudo-safe jumps against a character like Ed that doesn't have a 5-frame or a 6-frame DP, you totally can in a lot of these circumstances. Totally your choice if you want to. I think it's worth it for Cammy to do so, because then she can go into crouch heavy punch afterwards and still get the same mix. Like, other characters, I think doing a strong meaty by itself is more valuable, but for Cammy, I think safe jumps and pseudo-safe jumps like that can be good to just... And it helps apply mental pressure to the opponent. They feel... They're more likely to make a mistake and feel more under pressure if they're forced to block jump-ins. Especially multiple times in a row, they get really pissed off. It's your choice how low you want to put your drive gauge into, but I will say, again, you didn't abuse crouch heavy punch here, one of your strongest tools, which would have done more drive gauge damage, given you more pressure options, and regenerated you more drive gauge, and given you more time to think about what decision you wanted to make. But I will say, with that stand light kick that got a counter hit, I and lots of other players will often try to challenge Cammy after blocking 2 lights, because it's difficult for her to confirm the last one, which is why I tell a lot of Cammy players, hey, if you're doing light block strings, cancel your 3rd light, or do, like, stand light kick after a light sequence and just raw drive rush, like, just immediately drive rush cancel it on block. And it's very... See, Cammy is a low drive gauge value character. If I pull it up, I have her drive gauge value at 375 per bar of drive gauge, which is the lowest I put any character. The minimum I put it is at 375 right now. And there's very few places where her spending drive gauge in a combo is, like, gets that much higher than that. Except for routes that specifically, like, are the difference between getting the corner and not getting the corner. So that's why I think it, like, her specifically stand jab and stand light kick drive rush cancel are very, very strong. I really do believe in those as, like, especially in the corner where your offense, if you guess right, gets better because your combos are better and your throw gets a throw loop. So I really, and also just the nature of her pressure, doing a stand jab or a stand light kick at the end of your pressure into a drive rush cancel will often convert. And this is a situation where it would have. That being said, again, your choice how low you want to put your drive gauge. If you had done crouch heavy punch and then done something like stand jab, stand light kick, drive rush cancel, you would have had more drive gauge to work with. Nice-oo. And that is the proper combo to do there. You did the correct combo. It's not worth it to drive rush cancel that. It's much more worthwhile to spend drive gauge on neutral skipping, like low forward drive rush cancel, or lights into drive rush cancel into further mix than it is to spend it on confirmed hits like this. Is in the corner. Oh, okay. Blatant error, not converted. I don't know what happened there. Like, your wires got crossed or something, but yeah. No punish counter conversion, at least into, like, crouching medium punch, etc. And then you had enough drive gauge that if you had done stand heavy punch would have been more optimal, but even if you had done crouch medium punch, you could have done drive rush cancel back heavy kick, three bar combo with the level 1 that puts him back into the corner. So I would attribute that to another blatant error. You had a beautiful optimal combo with optimal resource management, whatever, to like some of the best of all worlds to go for, and a blatant error dropped your clear combo hit. Nice jump out. Damn, it's unfortunate. I will say, off of, again, this is another, like, after a jump in you did, you immediately went to light block strings instead of a throw, a shimmy, or an immediate, like, crouching heavy punch or something to catch a delay button or a delay tech or a neutral jump. Again, you don't have to, like, you don't have to guess what the opponent's going to do. The more important thing is just that you're changing what you do. You literally don't even have to think about what your opponent's going to do a lot of the time. So long as you just rotate your shit. I don't know what's going on. I think those are like missed dive kick inputs, but it's weird that you're getting neutral jumps. He did the wrong combo. He should have done something with Oki. Nice. Oh. Yeah. That's that obnoxious nerf. It wasn't as plus as you thought it was. Just get used to just doing stand jab after this. Don't even try to commit to back medium punch. Just, it's only +4 a lot of the time. Anti-air? No. See, that... I wouldn't call that, like, a big error. Okay, so, one... What are you actually, like, losing out in this matchup, too? You did jump over him when he did a forward heavy punch, and so you put yourself in the corner, but that was not your fault, and you had a punish on him that would have put him back in with the proper combo. This, clear error. You had a good, solid hit that would have put him in the corner again, and, actually, now that I think about it, I need to measure... okay, whatever. I was thinking about something I need to measure for this chart, but I will do that later. So, clear blatant error. You had huge value, but drop. And then, small error. You had a clean anti-air. No anti-air, and you took a throw. But this situation is fine, so far. Nice. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that's why I say always when you do drive rush jab, just always commit to heavy punch afterwards. They never interrupt it, and it's totally worth it if it gets the hit. You probably could have killed with an optimal combo. Well, stand jab. I don't know. Your optimal could have gotten close to killing at least. I'm not sure what my opinion is of this, and also, this is another thing. Okay, I will do the math on this actually literally right now. Actually, I don't know if I already did this or not. Drive rush jab. Do I have a drive rush jab in here? Drive rush stand light punch. Yeah, I do. Right here. 4511 versus 4187. No, not worth it. Okay. Alright, so you did the correct normal optimal combo. Yeah, I like that. Not because it worked, but just because it mixes up your options. And Ed is a character that is going to have a harder time dealing with those neutral jumps because his standing anti-airs aren't good at dealing with neutral jumps, and his DP is slower than normal characters. He did do a wake-up immediate jab, and I will say, so far you've barely abused crouch heavy punch on meaties. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. got hit low forward drive rush. That'll happen especially when the opponent, any character that has like a low forward drive rush, when they have high drive gauge like this, they're either going to be looking to like do something on wake up, or they're going to be looking to wait for a second and then just do low forward drive rush. So I would say this is an instance where like you didn't have to get hit by this. Like you could have done a forward jump, dive kick, and you would have punish countered it, or you could have just backdashed here, or you could have just hit like stand jab buffer and it would have beaten it out on startup. So, you know, you didn't like do something that like forced you to get hit here or anything. It was like, this was just a matter of decision making. But another option that you had, if you anticipate that he's probably going to be looking for that with full drive gauge, is to just sit there and block, wait for him to do the button, and then just immediately drive reversal it. He didn't believe in his level 2 routes. So long as you don't make a clear error, you should be fine. Beautiful. That's fine. One note that I did have watching your play yesterday is that you often dive kick. Sometimes you get too comfortable and you often dive kick in the same way at the same spacing. In a bit too patterned of a method. Generally, when you're about, that was a bit closer, but your intention was for him to be further away. Generally, when you're about here, you often, after a lot of interactions, you forward jump dive kick at like this same spacing a lot. And some of the players you were fighting against were blowing that up. Nice, beautiful. For Ed. Ed has, let's see, 13 frame DP, etc. So, wake up reversal, EX upper. So, one thing you can do is this. Drive rush delay jab, so that would hit him as a meaty. So this, you can practice this. Drive rush delay meaty. So as you can see, that would have meatied him if he wasn't invincible. I just think it's very important for Cammy to maximize her pressure after forward throw and neutral. You don't want to like you want looping offense, right? That's the dream. You always want to have like looping fucking offense. So you can do drive rush crouch light kick, which recovers very fast, actually. A lot faster than a lot of other characters' crouch light kicks. So even just a slight delay and then do crouch light kick, it'll hit them at least a little meaty, and it will block. So you can do shit like that, and that should be safe. Or you can just commit to just blocking early, in case he does like a super or something. Well, one of his faster supers. But anyways, yeah, I would say any character that doesn't have a fast EXDP and you can get away with doing just drive rush pressure all the time, immediately after forward throw, I would say abuse the shit out of it. You want to keep up the offense. You don't have to lose offense just because you got a forward throw. It's fine. Wouldn't he do low forward drive rush? Yeah. That is one thing. I would say if you're going to practice anything in the lab, practice matchup specific stuff. So for Dalsim, practice jump heavy punch, float conversions, either with super or with drive rush extension or EX spiral arrow. Then punish, point blank, float, shimmy attempts from Dalsim, and punish various neutral stuff with level 1 and level 3. Instantly drive reversal, down back heavy punch on block. And then for general stuff, I would say anti-airing, EXDP, option select on fake DRCs, and what else? Oh, timing, raw, drive rush, stand light punch, and crouching light kick after mid-screen forward throw. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. My audio dipped out for whatever reason. Nice, nice. Both of those very nice. Okay. And then, generally speaking, abuse strong shit instead of trying to guess right with okay shit. So, abuse strong shit. Crouching heavy punch. Standing heavy kick. Jump game. Diversify options. So that means for anti, instead of shimmy, do neutral jump, jump heavy punch. Neutral jump, jump heavy punch. Crouch, block, delay, crouching light punch. Delay, crouch heavy punch. Delay, forward jump, instant air, EX dive kick. I would do that less because it's drive gauge costly, but it does beat some things, and it is a diversification of your options. The important thing is that you're diversifying so the opponent can't be ready for it. And if you can get away with anything, like if you're wrong about the shimmy, but they don't anti-air your neutral jump because you don't usually do neutral jump, but you pull it out sometimes, that's free extra offense. And the only way that they can hard punish you for doing any specific action is if they specifically call out what you're going to do. So, like, if they're going to hard punish you for shimmying, if you always shimmy by walking backwards, then they can hard punish it by doing a low into whatever, into drive rush cancel, etc. But that won't work if you do any of these other actions. Etc. Diversify jump options, timings, spacings. Unlucky. Let's see if he's... Wow. Yeah? He's got these? He's doing the easy route, but... Beautiful. Okay. Side switching to the corner with a level 1 would be the right thing to do here. So, even if you didn't recognize... So, he had whiffed a throw, so you should have recognized a standing confirm, at least. Drive rush back heavy kick into the 3-bar. But even if you hadn't, you could have done the back heavy kick here with another drive bar of drive gauge. And you're more likely to make the comeback here. Also, like, it's not worth it to spend a level 3 here, because if you lose, then you go into the final round. But it is worth it to spend a level 1, because going into the final round with 2 bars is borderline irrelevant. Like, going into the final bar with 2 bars versus 3 bars of super is basically the exact same thing. Like, nobody ever, almost never, is there a round where someone came into the final round with 3 bars and they used it in a way that needed them to have 3 bars immediately, unless they're like Rashid and they get 2 level 2s in a single round, or and no one else has like gone into the final round with 2 bars and then been unable to have their super that they needed by the time that it was relevant. So it's totally worth spending a level 1, sometimes a level 2, on a round that you still might lose, to make a comeback. And so yeah, I would say even in this circumstance, Drive Rush into the side switch route with a level 1 would have been definitely the right thing to do. As opposed to this, which is like, okay, you could have killed off of that. That trade, okay, I would say, this is kind of an awkward thing, but practice trade combos. Just kind of create various scenarios at various spacings where you trade with your mediums and your crouch heavy punch and stuff, and just practice identifying the space and pressing and the timing of the trade and then just pressing the button. You definitely could have killed him right there. Crouching heavy punch trade with jab point blank. No way you couldn't have killed him there. That's fine. Like, I don't hate that. It was a nice attempt. You would have immediately cleared the game if it would have been successful. I will say, okay, as a general rule, hooligan bullshit, YOLO lol, overhead works more often than you'd think. Throw only works half the time. You would be surprised how often you can get people with the overhead, even though it's slower. The likelihood that they're going to get hit by the throw is lower than the likelihood that they're not going to anti-air before the overhead comes out. The overhead works a shockingly much higher amount of the time. Even if he had somehow jumped and you get an air hit with the overhead, you can still convert it into a level 2 for a juggle, and it would have killed that way too. Not that that's super relevant, but weird Drive Rush button. I think that was an error. That's fine. I will say, he's probably going to go low. This is not a situation that happens a ton, but he's probably going to do his low or crouch jab, or crouch short after this. Pick up. Okay. Now we're back to the same thing where I was talking about the biggest things that I saw as mistakes that held you back in these instances. Blatant errors. Blatant errors were fucking you more than anything else.
Oh my god, where's my fucking light kick?
Not strategy, not whatever else, just out and out mistakes. Nice pickup, proper combo. That's fine. You still have not, I will say, you still, so far, have not done meaty crouch fierce in the corner.
Nice. Damn, that's shit, man.
Like, okay, Cammy's forward throw in mid-screen is, like, pretty good. There are characters with much stronger. Like, okay, if we're talking about guessing right is less important than abusing things that are strong, the characters with the strongest mid-screen forward throws are Bison, Terry, some characters' back throws, like Rashid, are pretty good. And, Ken. And, that's mostly... Oh, and Kimberly. Have, like... And sometimes DJ. Have, like, really good forward throws in mid-screen. In the corner, the strongest forward throws are Akuma's. Bison is a pretty good one. Really good one. And then, I don't know, lots of other characters. Ken, Ryu, etc. Lots of other characters have really fucked up ones. Cammy's is okay. It's not the best. So her mid-screen one is like, okay, pretty good. Depends on the character that she's fighting against and what Drive Rush options she gets afterwards. Her, what am I talking about? Her, corner throw loop is okay. Again, kind of character dependent. If they don't have a fast 6-frame EXDP, she can do Drive Rush Oki after her forward throw, and it's quite a bit stronger than not doing that. But, her thing that is actually fundamentally stronger than other characters is the crouch heavy punch and some of these other options. Some of the, like, okay, having access to light spin knuckle, or having her really strong lights, her stand jab, etc., or having her delay counter hit and her shimmy. Her shimmy hits quite hard, but lots of characters' shimmies hit quite hard, etc. Like, the thing on her immediate strike through shimmy that is the most fucked up relative to the rest of the cast is that crouch fierce. So it doesn't matter if it's wrong 80% of the time. If it's not, you're not catching a counter hit or a backdash or something, abuse the fucked up strong thing. You could have anti-aired him here.
That was my momentum. It just got taken away.
This was definitely, you were close enough and you'd already committed to an action. There's no reason not to just be inputting DP after you whiff any big normal. Anytime you whiff, like, crouch medium punch, crouch medium kick, and you've, like, buffered it into something, there's nothing else that you need to be doing in that instance. You can't block, you can't input anything else, so just, like, buffer a DP in case they jump.
Fair enough.
I didn't see what happened there.
That's
Oh, you did stand jab, not low forward. Whatever. Anytime that you're walking forwards anyways, you're already holding forwards, so it's not that hard to transition to a DP input on the approach. Oh, he just hit you raw with that. Man, that sucks. Nice parry. Lucky. He's neutral jumped a couple of times now. I will say, a lot of these instances, you don't always just, like, totally wait for the scenario. A lot of the times you do, like, a walk back into a delay button, but you don't always do, like, you don't often do a walk back into a delay nothing. Like, you don't often just use pure movement and then just see what's happening. Which I would say would reward you in some of these instances. Good. Damn. Kind of scrambly. He fucked up way more than you did in this instance, so. Good. It's fine. That's good. Oh.
Again?
Okay, blatant error again. No, I keep hitting the wrong thing. Blatant error was the biggest downside here. How much drive gauge? That was probably a mistake. I would just want to see how much drive gauge you had. Yeah, this was a bad amount of drive gauge to burn yourself out on, definitely. So I would call that another blatant error. Nice, yeah. That'll happen a lot. That's very good. Yeah, you would be surprised when you are in burnout and you just do nothing but just walk forwards and just hit, like, stand jab, stand heavy kick, or just, like, jump, like, walk uncomfortably close and then just jump, you start to realize how fucking broken Cammy is with her jump game. Damn, random ass forward dash while you were walking forwards. I will say, okay, so this is an awkward spot. Yeah. The most awkward part of Cammy's offense is immediately after doing this dry rush cancel. Because, okay, I have never recommended anyone do this because most of the people I'm talking to are not, like, you know, 1800 MR on the border of, but, so I've never told anyone to specifically do this. But let's say you do low forward drive rush jab versus, let's say, low forward drive rush back medium punch or something. All of these lose, right? Here's the thing. Cammy, if you're against Ed, this is specifically for Ed, okay? Do drive rush crouch light kick. Because if he tries to option select you with an EXDP, it'll come out, but you'll be able to block. So, don't do jab, do crouching light kick, and then the fact that if he tries to EXDP option select, it'll get blown up every time because there's nothing he can do here. The fact that that'll happen means that he can't do this, which means that he's now open to getting all the rest of the mix. With the delay drive rush stuff. So yeah, I would say Ed specifically, only Ed, drive rush crouch light kick. I'd say another blatant error there, no pickup on the crouch jabs.
That is correct.
And I would just say, like, you did, like, a light block string here, but I just don't think this was very strong offense. Not staggers. You didn't, like... You did walk back into nothing, which is one thing that I said, so... Fuck me, I guess, but... Like, you could have abused a jump game. You could have done, like, a gap, crouch heavy punch. Like, this guy has not demonstrated... I would say this guy has not, like... Like, you have to take gambles to see what you can get away with and then start punishing him if he's not. So it's better to just, like, for example, right? Let's say I do, on block, I do this, and then I do some really safe shit like that. Right? True block string, low, whatever. But, let's say it's not hitting, he's not walking backwards there, and he's not getting hit low. Crouch, light punch, stand, jab is very not, like, amazing. Like, what am I getting off of that? So instead, if we put a gap into it, so catch him doing a delay walk back, do a micro walk forwards, like that, catch a delay jab, catch a delay tech, or delay walk backwards, delay hold up, etc. Or we do like a crouch heavy punch, etc. Catch it, all the same things, delay jab, delay tech, etc. We can see if he's walking backwards or if he's crouching, because if he was walking backwards, we would see him stand blocking it. So that gives us information as well. If we do that, we can see if he immediately walked backwards or if he did a delay walk backwards, etc. Crouch heavy punch gives us way more information to work with and is just way stronger. And so the only thing that he could do to stop this is just mash jab immediately. So if he's conditioned to mashing jab immediately, well, we have an insanely powerful way to blow that up with stand medium punch. So if we do stand medium punch after the fact, no, not crouch jab, stand jab. So if we do, so as you can see, like, the only way that the crouch light kick stand jab is going to punish him is if he's immediately walking backwards or immediately mashing buttons. Whereas if we do the slower option that takes more liberties, we get more information, and if he is mashing jab, that gives us information that we can do to punish him a lot harder if he's going to abuse that, whereas if we did punish him with that, we would only get that much reward, whereas if we have done the slower option, gotten information first, and then we know that he is liable to mash buttons, we can get way more reward by committing to the heavier option. So, like, that's why I think it's much better to take extra liberties with gaps into crouch heavy punch, with gaps into, like, micro walk, crouch light kick, etc. Especially gaps into crouch heavy punch. Because, like, if we're wrong, we're only wrong in a very minor way, because we're only going to get counter hit jabbed, which is going to be like heavily scaled, low damage combos. And if we are right, we get huge reward, and in either case, if we're wrong or right, we get information, and we get conditioning. So I just think it's better to do, like, the fucked up strong things that are not entirely frame tight and safe. Okay, here's the other thing. Like, if we were to do this, stand medium punch, and he gets a perfect parry on us, That is literally worse than if we did this into Crouch Fierce and he gets a counter hit jab on us. The perfect parry is so much worse because he can do a full huge combo that regenerates, like does tons of corner carry and Oki and regenerates him like a billion drive gauge. Whereas if he just gets a counter hit jab, he gets probably less damage than the perfect parry combo and just less all around value. So, like, I would not even call the frame tight stuff the quote unquote safer option either. See, that's fine. It's unfortunate. Does he has this got this combo again? Beautiful. Oh, yeah, you gotta respect that. Yep. Unlike a lot of other characters, Ed does have a 4-frame low. So him doing empty low is a little different than most characters that have to do a 5-frame low. Oh, definitely shouldn't have been hit by that. Also, you had level 3. If he charges in your face like this, you can just get... There's nothing he can do. You could just pump level 3 here. Punish.
Wait, how the fuck did that not?
Yeah, sometimes at further range, some characters, Ed's included, their drive reversals can hit at a meaty active frame. You can see, because, like, his fist is way up here rather than, like, a little bit earlier, the animation, if it hits in the second active frame, it'll look a little different. I don't know if that's what happened here. I think it is, but, yeah, just so you know.
Wait, how the fuck did that not punish?
Yeah, I like that tick throw. Again, it's better to go for liberties on offense and get information and, like, play for hits that could get you huge value and get you, like, the reward. So drive rush Oki after that. Walk up heavy kick is fine sometimes. That was a sharp fucking anti-air from this guy. I would not have expected him to be ready to do that. I don't blame you for doing that. Oh, the reason why he was ready for this is because he did a backdash. So, a lot of Cammies, you probably... I don't know how many Cammy player mirror matches you get, but a lot of Cammies, after stand heavy kick, they just immediately do forward jump, immediate dive kick. This is a common situation. So, this is something... What this Ed player did is something that I do all the time as well. I will block heavy kick, and then I will just immediately backdash and pump a DP input to anti-air the dive kick. So, he did backdash, pump DP... For that exact reason, it just happened to overlap with the other thing you were doing.
Hello, boss. How you doing? Hope you're good. I saw you streaming on YouTube a couple times now.
Oh. Yeah, man, Ryu's forward heavy punch is so fucked up.
I saw you streaming on YouTube a couple times.
This was, I think, this was definitely the part where I was while I was on the stream. He definitely should have spent drive gauge on that. That's fine. I have not studied Ryu in as great of detail as other characters. I actually don't have a lot of advice for how to play against him. He's kind of a fucked up character in my opinion. Like, the counters to some of his moves in isolation, like, makes sense. Okay, so that was a fine combo, but you could have gotten the punish counter jab into something better. This is fine. Like, I don't think it's a mistake that you didn't cancel the crouching medium punch into drive rush. And, like, it hit so late. Like, I encourage Cammies to play reactively with their crouch medium punch and crouch medium kick. To, like, not always autopilot into the drive rush cancel, but, like, try to look for a little animation, either an attack animation or a standing animation or something, right before it connects to make them... help them with their decision of whether or not to drive rush cancel it. But yeah. So that's fine. Beautiful. Okay, bad combo, bad spin knuckle. You were at full enough drive gauge that like a drive rush cancel would have been good. And also, you're kind of almost dead anyways, so There's no point in dying with full drive gauge, so at this point, it's worth it to spend drive gauge even on relatively lackluster things. Oh, I would say, okay, this definitely the same exact situation I was talking about with Dhalsim, but quadrupled. Guaranteed drive reversal point. If he's in the corner, you block this shit, drive reversal. Even if you have relatively low drive gauge, not if you're in burnout and almost dead, but if you're gonna, not if you're gonna get put into burnout and almost dead, but if you have high health and drive reversal would put you in burnout, I would still say it's worth it to do it against Ryu. But yeah, here, avoid the plus frames, get a knockdown, get your offense going, get a little bit of potential damage for the hit, drive reversal. Guaranteed on Solar Plexus. Also guaranteed on this. Drive reversal this. And that move is so fucking cheap. One thing is just like pepper in random neutral jumps. The way these Ryu players play a lot of the times, so long as you don't commit to a jumping button that they can anti-air with heavy kick from further away, just do random neutral jumps, and that's like a decent counter to their low forwards. Ryu's anti-air DP does not go as far as some of the other characters, so if he like walks up and whiffs like a crouch medium kick, he won't be able to like DP you if you neutral jump from a little bit further away. If they're sharp, they can stand heavy kick anti-air you, but they should probably at least prove that they can do that before. And if you neutral jump, you'll be able to deal with these fucking punches. Okay, again, drive reversal guaranteed at that point. Even at low drive gauge, you get a knockdown, you get your offense going. I would say it's probably worth it, especially if you need to make a comeback, to see what the opponent's answer is to throw looping. That's fine. It's not bad. Nice kill. Random. Bad combo as well. He didn't do the new route. Okay, this is the thing that I was talking about. I think this becomes more prominent as you keep playing. You often dive kick at this timing and spacing. A little walking forwards to basically that exact same space, jump, same timing, same strength of dive kick. This is like your go-to dive, like jump action. Too frequently, I would say, too frequently. Also, you often don't take your turn after your dive kick is plus on block. You very often, after dive kick, just walk back and do delay button like this in a way that gets a bit samey. It is not diversified enough. Again, they're like, even if you want to do the same option, diversify your options, even if they are functionally you want to try to beat the same thing. So sometimes do walk back into another jump immediately afterwards. Sometimes do like dive kick and do like either like, so for example, like sometimes do something like that, or something like that, or shave their space in front of them with stand jab. So like do a walk back, and instead of doing a medium, shave space with stand jab. So if they press any button, almost any button, it will extend its hurt box into the stand jab's active frames and lose to it. And if they don't and they just do a walk back medium, obviously the jab whiffs for much less time than a medium would, so that's also another strong option. Neutral jump or just full forward jump is often quite good to go for as well. And then walk back into another jump like that. So diversify your options. Even if you're functionally you have the same expectation, you're trying to do the same thing, just do different shit. Yeah, he should have drive rush canceled that, or at least done EX blah blah blah. He could have converted that as well. Yeah, so I would say two things are good against Solar Plexus Strike. Random Solar Plexus Strike. So I'll have... So just to test this out. I'll have all these things on. Repeat, always repeat. So neutral jump is quite good against it. If you randomly backdash. So if you're too far away, obviously he can't do it. So he'll only do it within a certain spacing, at which point... stand jab and stand light kick are relatively good against it. But yeah, I would say neutral jump and, like, try to keep your spacing. Try to whiff punish it a lot of the time. There's an interaction like that, just hold straight up or just mash backdash. Or just mash, like, stand light kick, buffer, or just stand jab. Oh, I will quickly do the math on this here. $17.90. 3.25, 1.5. I need another drink soon. And then minus 1.7 and 0.4. Ugh. No, right. The problem with this is that you need to have a quite high amount of drive gauge for this to be viable, obviously, but 5.35, 3.5. minus 4.8, and then 0.7. And it comes out to being worse by a small fraction. So, never mind. I just wanted to test that using my math. Irrelevant. Still worse. Nice-oo. Nice. Yeah. This interaction, like just sitting, crouch blocking for a moment, and then forward jumping into just non-dive kick, just jump light kick, is exactly what I was talking about. Like another one of those things that you do it a little bit more frequently in addition to how you already play, and you'll get away with this so much. It's very good. But again, the same interaction has happened so many times. You do jump light kick or something, you do a light block string, this time you misjudge the spacing and the route again. You're ending in crouch jab. You need to end in stand jab because it has slightly more range. But again, you did like the same sequence, and you didn't. And it was you know, a slight error on the spacing, and it wasn't a throw or a shimmy or a crouch fierce or whatever. Which I feel in that way kind of like you get like the worst of all options. You did like the weakest route that was incorrect as well, and it was just on block. Damn.
Oh my god, so bad.
Yep, that's good. Oh, also, I say, like, EXDP characters are special, but, like, because if I put myself on Ryu and I do Cammy, right? Oh my god. They can EXDP on reaction, but it depends on how far their EXDP goes, whether or not off of a back tech specifically, they can beat it. So if they expect that you're going to drive rush cancel a lot, some people that know about this and have practiced this are going to neutral tech, so that even if you try to bait it out with a throw, they can still punish you. But if they start neutral checking, then obviously you can just regularly walk forwards and just throw them. So... and you can throw them off by just dashing forwards or doing other shit like that. So... this depends on your opponent and whether or not this is something that they, one, know about. The fact that Cammy can't drive rush after her forward throw in mid-screen and block in time to block a 6-frame EXDP. So the opponent, first of all, has to know that fact. Second of all, has to have practiced reacting to it specifically. And third of all, there is still a mind game there about drive rush into empty throw if they back tech a lot of the time. Or, to a much lesser extent, drive rush DI, which can also blow that up. And, but I think that it's at least worth testing the opponent, because if you can get offense after your forward throw in mid-screen, because your opponent doesn't know how to stop it, or doesn't know that that is an opportunity where they can sort of shut it down in certain ways, or you can guess right enough of the time to stop them even if they are trying to EXDP it, that is a clear opportunity to get extra offense. Like, the ability to get pressure into Oki after your forward throw in mid-screen versus, like, having to just play neutral again is invaluable. Anyways, yeah, I think that, like... Yeah, see? The overhead is surprisingly... hits people a lot of the time. So anyways, I think that's good for now. Blah.